During a state visit to Russia in March, President Xi Jinping and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin raised bilateral ties to a comprehensive strategic partnership of coordination. In November in San Francisco, President Xi and U.S. President Joe Biden charted the course for improving ties between the world's largest two economies. In March, President Xi proposed the Global Civilization Initiative at the CPC in dialogue with World Political Parties high-level meeting. In May, at the China Central Asia Summit in the western Chinese city of Xi'an, President Xi and his counterparts launched the China Central Asia Meeting Mechanism. In August, the Chinese president attended the 15th BRICS Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa, and paid a state visit to the country. In December, Xi Jinping paid a state visit to Vietnam, with warming ties and stabilized cooperation between the neighbors. President Xi also met with many leaders, senior politicians, and heads of international organizations throughout the year. 2023 marks the 10th anniversary of the China proposed Belt and Road Initiative. Over the past decade, over 150 countries and over 30 international organizations have signed cooperation documents. In October, China hosted the third Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation. On October 7th, a new round of armed conflict broke out between Israel and the Islamic Resistance Movement, or Hamas, which has led to deaths of over 20,000. The only respite was a humanitarian temporary ceasefire brokered by the international community. In March 2023, host China, Saudi Arabia, and Iran issued a trilateral statement announcing Riyadh and Tehran agreed to resume diplomatic ties, accomplished a month later. The China-brokered reconciliation, as some observers predicted, has generated a ripple effect across the Middle East region. Diplomatic ties were also revived between Bahrain and Qatar in April, Egypt and Turkey in July, and Syria and Saudi Arabia in December. The world economy remains in recovery at a slow and uneven pace. The International Monetary Fund predicts advanced economies will see a 1.1 drop in economic growth for 2023. Developing nations and emerging economies are poised to show stronger than expected resilience. Major international organizations project China will see a 5% growth in 2023, being a major growth engine for both the Asia-Pacific and the world. The Russia-Ukraine conflict, which began in February 2022, fell into a deadlock in 2023. Ukraine's summer counteroffensive failed to achieve a major breakthrough, and Russia announced a planned expansion of armed forces. Despite continued Western support to Ukraine and sanctions against Russia, the U.S. Congress rejected a new aid bill, and the EU failed to agree to a new aid package. In July 2023, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization granted Iran full membership at its meeting of the Council of Heads of State. In August, at the BRICS Summit in South Africa, 6 new members were announced: Iran, Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, to become effective on January 1, 2024. In September, at the G20 summit, the African Union became the second regional organization to join the bloc after the EU. 2023 saw frequent extreme weather events due to climate change. There were cyclones in southeastern Africa and South Asia, record-high temperatures in southern Europe and North Africa, and deadly wildfires in North America, Europe, and Australia. World Meteorological Organization says 2023 is set to become the warmest year on record. Artificial intelligence saw a surge in 2023, with regulation and governance becoming a global concern. In July, the UN called for containment of technological risk and strengthening of global governance. In October, China proposed the Global AI Governance Initiative to make AI technologies more secure, reliable, controllable, and equitable. The UK hosted the first Global AI Safety Summit in November, producing the groundbreaking Bletchley Declaration. In December, the EU's Parliament and Council negotiators reached what looks set to become the world's first ever comprehensive legal framework on artificial intelligence. U.S. politics continued to polarize and divide in 2023. In January, Republican Congressman Kevin McCarthy became House Speaker after 15 rounds of voting in 4 days. But just 9 months later, he became the first ousted House Speaker in a no-confidence vote by Republicans as well as Democrats. The two parties standoff on the debt ceiling and federal budget twice threatened a federal government shutdown. Hope remained dim for gun control legislation, despite the fact that gun violence claimed over 40,000 lives in 2023.